Hey guys, Mika here, and I'm bringing you a custom high baritone ukulele made by luthier Kevin Mason. So, what do I mean by high baritone? So, Kevin Mason, luthier, all the way in Illinois, United States. He makes a few unique little touches to his baritone ukuleles. I'm not going to get into specifics about other kind of builds, but in terms of this one, it's called a high baritone because this baritone is right now currently tuned D, G, B, E, which is like baritone standard tuning or the bottom four strings of a guitar. But with this specific ukulele or model from him, you can tune it safely to the other two most common tunings with ukulele, which is one standard tuning, so G, C, E, A, or what we call B flat tuning, which is F, B flat, D, G tuning. So taking the standard tuning and tuning it a whole step down, or you take the standard tuning and tune it, I think, 2.5 steps down to the baritone tuning. So you have the flexibility of doing any of those three tunings. And you might be wondering, what do I mean by safely doing it? So if you have a standard, baritone scale length, meaning from the nut to the bridge right here where the cutoff is, typical baritones are 19, 20 inches, one of those two. Those are the more common ones. But the dangerous thing about that is that if you put a baritone set of strings on the scale length where it's longer, you're going to have to tune the string's going to be tighter over a longer period of the length of the string. So you run the risk of, one, the string snaps because it's way too tight against how long the string is, or you risk the bridge just like you're going to ruin your instrument because there's too much tension on the bridge, and then it just kind of flings up over time. So you definitely don't want to do it. So it's not really safe. You could do it, but I wouldn't recommend it. So what Mr. Kevin Mason has done is he altered the scale length of this fretboard, and he reduced the 19 or 20 kind of normal standard inches of the scale length, and he put it down to 18 and 3/8 to be exact. For comparison, a typical standard tenor scale length, which is the size below a baritone ukulele, is about 17 to 17.25 inches. And again, the typical baritone is 19 or 20 inches. So by putting it at 18 and 3/8, you're pretty much having, you're kind of almost right in the middle in terms of the scale length to try and make this more unique build. And again, by doing that, you can safely go ahead and tune baritone, B flat, or standard tuning. So again, with this, we have a beautiful low D baritone tuning. Sounds super warm, but again, you can go ahead and tune it up to those other tunings as well. Very versatile ukulele. So let's go ahead and talk about the specs of this instrument. So beautiful torrefied Sitka spruce here on the top, and then wonderful Ziricote rosewood on the sides right here, as well as the back of instrument. Love the sapwood right here in the middle. I'm such a huge fan of the aesthetics of Ziricote because you see so much of this rich, silky texture of all of the wavy lines. So you have the texture of the brown, the wood, the brown parts of the wood right here, but then you have all the black streaks that kind of go in like kind of this lightning kind of fashion. But when you pair it nicely with has a sapwood here in the middle, or it's really nicely book matched like this, you just get wonderful looking designs here on the back of this instrument. Again, Ziricote on the sides, right here. You have a nice cutout for the side port so you can hear what's going on towards your face. So all that sound doesn't escape in front of you. You hear a little bit towards your face. And it's paired very nicely. Can never go wrong with putting Hawaiian curly koa on your instrument. So we have it as the binding around the back of the instrument, as well as on the top of the instrument right here, all the way around. You also have the Hawaiian curly koa binding along the fretboard as well. So all the way around, wrapped around both sides. And then coming back to the body, we have more Ziricote wood as the rosette right here. We have the, Palo abalone shell right here in the middle of the Ziricote around the rosette. You also have the Ziricote on the bridge, the fretboard right here. I love this white streak right here on this side of the fretboard, as well as on this slotted headstock here on the front of the headstock. More Ziricote wood. And then here on the back, mahogany neck, and then Rubner tuners with the, looks like snakewood or rosewood here, the buttons here on the side. So really nice, really easy, simple to use, very accurate to go ahead and tune your ukulele. But yeah, it's a beautiful instrument. And then small little details, you know, you have your fret markers 3, 5, 7, 10. This cool little leaf, 3-leaf design. So you have one leaf here. It looks like mother of pearl, but you have this mother of pearl right here as the 3 leaves, and then looks like koa as like the tree branch right here on the 12th fret. So you can do beautiful harmonics here on the 12th fret. So again, 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17, and then you also have 3, 5, 7, 10, double on 12, 15, and 17 on the sides of the fretboard as well, so you can see what you're doing. And something that's really unique on top of the 18 and 3/8 scale length from the nut to the bridge right here is that you have 13 frets to the body. So what does that mean? So this is the 12th fret. You can do your beautiful harmonics right here, but there's a 13th fret. So 13 frets that join the body. When you think of normal baritone ukuleles, in my experience, we're more looking towards 15 frets, 14 frets. So 13, definitely much more rare, more unique. I'm guessing is to you know, compensate with the, you know, slightly the different scale at the 18.38 inch. So I guess naturally it's going to come here with the instrument. So again, 13 frets to the body right here. So yeah, that sounds so good. Now going into the sound, what's really cool about this instrument is that in my experience, when you play baritones, even like the $150, $200 baritones, it can sound good because there's just so much warmth, and it just sounds so like, you know, you strum a C chord, or I guess this is a G chord, F chord with the tuning. So let's say you're playing this chord, right? You play a, you know, cheaper kind of more entry level. It's like, oh wow, it's so warm, sounds so good. But the thing with baritones is that it can be its own worst enemy in terms of it can sound too warm. It's just, there's too much. When you have too much of something, it's usually not a good thing. So baritones can fall into the trap of sounding too warm. But when I play an instrument like this, it's surprisingly very bright, which you don't really lump in bright and baritone together. So what do I mean by that? Like when I do just basic like arpeggios of the finger style, like that is for me, that's very bright. And you know, it does help that I have nails, but I'm not even digging into it. Usually with baritones, you have more of a rounded, fatter kind of sound versus you have more of like that articulate, clean, has nice clarity. You can definitely get that. Or you can get a lot of that attack or bite out of this instrument. But if you play it nice and soft and relax, it still has a nice warm sound to it. So very balanced instrument. I would even say it's skewing a little more to being on the brighter side for a baritone, again, which makes it very unique. And I would be fascinated to hear what it would sound like in the B flat tuning or the standard GCEA tuning, because it's gonna change. The sound will change of this instrument, right? So, but again, we have it in the typical baritone tuning right here. So, but whether I'm playing all the way up here on the 10-12, 10-12, you know, all the way up here on the 12th fret, I mean, listen to how clean, beautiful resonance, super clean. All these fancier jazz chords. All the way down the fretboard, just squeaky clean all the way down the fretboard. So yeah, this is an amazing instrument. And again, I just love the uniqueness of being able to tune it to any of the common 3 ukulele tunings. But I just love how much brightness and how much clarity this instrument has. Really makes it stand out against other baritones. So let's go ahead and run this for a sound sample. There we go. Shout out to Kimo Hasi.